A couple things that to point out here. Harry Enton at 538 says, still a ton of votes left out in Detroit and Flint. That's why a lot of smart people, he says on my Twitter feed, think Clinton will pull this off, but he says it is simply too close to call. One result that has stayed consistent on the Democratic side is that self-identified independents far more likely to vote for Sanders. That's been consistent all along. Current exit poll estimate, and this is one reason why this is, in fact, I would say the reason why the polls were wrong. The current exit poll estimate is that he's winning in Michigan among independents by a 70-28 margin.
Yeah.
Clinton, on the other hand, leads among self-identified Democrats 57-41, about 18 points, 16 points. Although party registration doesn't necessarily match identification, it gives you an idea that Sanders really benefits from open primaries. If this had been a closed primary to Democrats, it might have been a different result. But it isn't. Then, for John, and let's try not to get dragged down in this. But this is,
no, I know what you're going to say because I saw it.
He goes, I know this may upset the Sanders fans, parentheses, who don't exactly love me, but our delegate targets say that Sanders should win Michigan by about 4 delegates over Clinton. Not 4 points, but 4 delegates, which really means like half a point, over Clinton in a race that's tied nationally. The problem is that Sanders has already run well behind his overall delegate targets. That means he needs to be doing even better than them to really have a shot. This doesn't mean it wasn't a good night for Sanders. It definitely was, but the road ahead is long, even if he pulls off what would be a shocking.
Here we go. Swang, wang,
It was a mixed. There was shocking victory, blah, 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 blah.
Well, I mean, he'll still be behind.
If he loses by a couple points, that's shocking.
Right now, if he wins.
Can we have a day? Can we have 24 hours?
No.
I don't know. You're not entitled to anything. I mean, you want a revolution, turn out, win it, have a revolution.
But he looks like he did.
I got it. And as you know, if he wins, say he wins 51-49 or 52-48, that's probably what we're looking at, right? So he'll win 6 delegates, and she'll win 30 in Mississippi, and she'll be ahead by even more delegates, and that is also a story.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ben.
No. Look. Yeah. As I said in the beginning of the night, momentum only matters so much. It still matters now. We're at the inflection point where it's starting to matter less, right? But it matters going into March 15th, Florida, Ohio, Illinois, North Carolina. I keep saying it over and over again because it's so important. But delegates matter a lot too. So it's perfectly fair to say, hey, here's the delegate lead she has. Here's what happened with the delegates tonight. But that's, and we haven't seen it yet. 538 has a rolling blog. So they'll have this comment, that comment. So it's they have not put priority over one over the other, right? Now, you will see it in the headlines. So the headline coming out of here has to be, if he finishes ahead of her, stunning upset for Bernie Sanders in Michigan, right? If the headline is, she gets more delegates, well, then you don't care about the news. You have an agenda, right? If the headline is stunning upset for Bernie Sanders in Michigan, the subheading is but a big win in Mississippi for Hillary Clinton, yada yada. Okay,
I think you could still say it's
then they're bought.
It's tough. It's a tough, with proportional delegations awarded for the Democrats. It is incredibly hard to make up what is going to be a 220 delegate difference. He has to win big to catch her. Now we also know that you say momentum is minimized, and I think that's right. But if you don't have to catch it entirely if you start winning every state. Then all of a sudden it seems like, okay, she still is ahead of delegates, but Jesus, he just won 5 straight states, and they're no longer states that you can, Nebraska and Kansas. You can't minimize them. These are states, all those states that vote, Missouri, Illinois,
New York.
Ohio, no, the ones coming up, Missouri, Illinois, Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida, all those big states, those are all representative of the Democratic Party. Every single one of them.
Arguably important in general elections as well.
And incredibly important in general.
Because if you do have that momentum, remember, New York and California are still outstanding, let alone all these other large states. Pennsylvania is still outstanding, right? So that's why the momentum matters, because if he wins there, and especially if he wins big, then he can catch her, because then you have to win the delegates. But I could imagine a scenario where Bernie Sanders is the president of the United States, and they're like, does it really count?
Yeah. But being the president is kind of weird.
Yeah, so. I mean, no, the country's a little weird. And the country was generally pro-Bernie, and it was more white than black, so it doesn't really count.